Around 600 BC, Babylon captured Jerusalem and took the Jews captive. Daniel and his 3 friends were trained in the Babylonian court. While they were given the best food the court had, they couldn't eat it because of Jewish law. Daniel proposed a challenge. He asked that they be allowed to eat simple food and water. Then they could see if they looked any worse than the others. The court official agreed, and at the end of the 10 days, they looked great. God blessed them for keeping his law. They were also at the top of the class in learning and wisdom, and Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. Basically, he was the valedictorian. In the 2nd year of his reign, Nebuchadnezzar had troubling dreams. He called on the dream experts in his kingdom. "I have dreamed a dream, and I want to know what it means." "Tell us the dream, and we'll interpret it for you." "You want me to do all the work?" "Tell me the dream and interpret it, or I'll cut you in pieces." Only the gods could do such a thing." "You're useless. I'm going to kill all the wise men." "Whoa, what are you doing?" Daniel learned that he was going to be killed along with the other wise men. Daniel asked for more time, and then he and his team asked for God's help. Daniel learned the king's dream in a vision. The king had seen a great being representing the kingdoms of earth. It was smashed by a stone that came from the mountain. God's kingdom will eventually rule supreme. Daniel and his friends, now called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, became leaders in Babylon. Later, Nebuchadnezzar created a statue to honor himself and commanded everyone to worship it. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego would only worship God. "Worship my image, or I'll throw you into a burning furnace. What God can rescue you then?" God can deliver us from that, but even if he doesn't, we will still worship him, and only him. They were saved, and Nebuchadnezzar decreed that they should be allowed to worship Jehovah. When King Belshazzar ruled Babylon, he was prideful and arrogant. During a great feast, God sent him a message. The king freaked out. He didn't know what it meant. Daniel was called in, and he explained that it was God's message. Babylon would be conquered. That very night, Belshazzar was slain, and Darius became the new king. Daniel was made a leader in the new kingdom. The king's other advisors were jealous of Daniel, and they set him up by getting the king to pass a law that people could only pray to King Darius. Then, when Daniel prayed to God, they turned him in. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. The next morning, Darius found Daniel alive. "Daniel, your God has delivered you." God sent his angels and shut the lions' mouths. "The lions must not have been very hungry." Let's test that theory. Daniel remained faithful to God even as the political leaders around him constantly changed. We can always be faithful, regardless of our circumstance. "Because I wouldn't bow down to the king's statue, they threw me into the fire. But I knew just the right spell. Flamius Protecto. Oh, and the lions? I just sang them a lullaby. You can read all about it in my new book, Lying with Lions." Fred? George! So why are you auditioning for the role of Daniel? I just love animals. This way I get to play with the lions. Cut! I think we need to find a new Daniel.